All right, number 5, you're doing a strip mall, so similar kind of use. And the question was for a DX RTU, why would somebody be using a DX RTU for your strip mall? So the RTU means rooftop unit. I love how simplistic it is. Like you always think, oh, RTU, that must be some really like intense, deep, highly technical term. It just means there's something sitting up on the roof. It's a rooftop unit. So that's an HVAC unit that's sitting up on the roof. And the DX means that it's working with refrigerant, and the refrigerant is directly part of the transition of heat or cooling from the refrigerant system into the air that's being blown into the space. So there's no chilled water loop, there's no secondary system, it's just directly working with the refrigerant. So most RTUs up on the roof are DX, and the question becomes, why would we put DX RTUs onto a single-story strip mall? Imagine, I don't know, like a 7-Eleven or something like that. Like, why would you use that kind of system? What are the 3 things out of this list of 6 that would make that make sense? Well, one reason I might want to put my HVAC unit up on the roof is that's going to mean that the noise is not in the unit. The noise is now up on top, right? That you still have the air coming down through the roof into a little duct system, but you don't have the noise that machine, the big fan, all that stuff. You're putting that up, maybe you're bothering your neighbors, but you're not going to be bothering your clientele on the inside of this space. So that's one answer. Another good answer here is doesn't take up any floor space. So that whole mechanical room that would normally have an HVAC unit sitting in it suddenly doesn't have that in it anywhere because that whole room is gone because it's all sitting up on the roof and not taking up any indoor space. Now, if you're somebody who's is like a developer and you're building this thing and then you're putting this stuff out as a rental, well, that's super handy because what that means is you're not like losing any of that square footage. You get to rent it all. So very typically simplistic buildings like strip malls, it's a simple, straightforward, easy way to do it. So we have one more potential answer. The thing here says easy access for the standpipe. Well, standpipe's actually about fire protection. It's the way that you get water into a sprinkler system. It's not related to a DX RTU at all, so that's not it. More durable and long lasting. So let's take 2 seconds and think about if we're going to put a delicate piece of HVAC equipment up on a roof in Minneapolis that's getting snowed on and sleeted on and heavy winds and hot sun in the summer, like that is absolutely not going to be more durable and long lasting. In fact, it's pretty short lasting. But so are most strip mall units. Like you get somebody who stays in that space for 5, 8 years. That's probably pretty good, and those systems will certainly last that long. But it would be way more durable and long lasting if you had it in a basement or inside in that space. So it's definitely not D. That is one of the big problems for RTUs is that they are not durable and long lasting. How about E? Off-the-shelf quality can be easily replaced and therefore makes for good flexibility. That's absolutely true. One of the great things about having on a simple one-story building like this, having a RTU, especially DX RTU, is that it's all sort of self-contained. And if that client goes out of business and a new people move in and maybe they take over 2 spaces or something, it's very simple and straightforward to be able to add these things. It's not always the easiest to put a big heavy piece of equipment up on the roof, but conceptually it's simple and flexible, and you can just take one off and put another one on that's bigger and more powerful. And so that off-the-shelf quality allows for pretty easy flexibility down the road. And you'll see a lot of these things where the developer, the owner, will actually build the building, build the shaft, build the position for where that RTU is going to go, and then when the tenant comes in, they put their own unit in so that they can then adjust it to their specific needs of what's going to happen on the inside. So it's very flexible from that kind of standpoint. This is a great way to go. Then the last one, by placing in the basement, which we've just said, RTU means rooftop, so that one is definitely not the answer. So A, B, and E are the three answers for this. So this one was all about what the heck is a DX RTU and why would I want to put it on top of a one-story strip mall building.